explain a little bit what ambidexterity means, organization ambidexterity means, and then after that I will play a short video which I created myself. It has my own voice also recorded into that. So organization ambidexterity is a capability of the organization to do two functions simultaneously. The two functions are mainly general, and all organizations in the world, they apply it. It's exploration and exploitation. Exploration means exploring the outside market for opportunities and similar things. And exploitation means exploiting the internal knowledge and resources in order to deliver on those opportunities. So always, any organization, they have to work on both, the two things. Similar to when you have a business development department, for example, working on doing market exploration, and you have an engineering department, for example, doing design and sort of stuff. So organizational dexterity can provide sustainability and flexibility to organizations. Now, we cannot say that all organizations do it perfectly or something like that, so this is why I'm selected to do this research, to try to find processes or practices or ways or mechanisms in order how to achieve the sustainability of organizations through enhancing its ambidexterity. I will play a short video which I created myself. It's a 2.5 minutes video. It explains a bit more.
The following research was prepared to pass the requirements of the PhD Project Management Program of the British University of Dubai. The title of the research is Using Portfolio Management Practices to Achieve Performance through Ambidexterity. This research is funded by the Project Management Institute. Have you ever thought of why some organizations perform extremely well while others cannot run a sustainable operation? What does this have to do with projects, or modern project and portfolio management? Organizations never cease the pursuit of performance and sustainability. However, external environments are so dynamic and may not allow this to happen easily. A dynamic environment is so complex and infested with frequent changes. Some organizations could make it under such circumstances. A big portion dwindle and disappear, while others, which are the elite of those, grow and prosper. Those organizations are the ones which we call ambidextrous organizations. So what is organizational ambidexterity, and what are the mechanisms needed to achieve such a state? Ambidexterity is a dynamic capability which gives organizations an ability to overcome challenges imposed by dynamic environments. It is the tendency to explore new ideas, sense the future, and seize new opportunities while delivering on current commitments. A systematic review of the literature was carried out under this research using more than 400 articles chosen from top-tier journals with subjects relevant to performance and dynamic capability. The review reviewed 4 dimensions for ambidexterity. Those are a knowledge dimension, a behavior dimension, a technological dimension, and a process dimension. It transpired from the research the dimension of ambidexterity are functions of the organization which can create and then resolve a paradox or a tension. The knowledge dimension, for instance, differentiates between exploiting old knowledge and exploring new possibilities. The behavior dimension differentiates between social hard elements such as discipline and soft elements such as trust. The technological dimension covers aspects of technological innovation in projects. The process dimension looks at the tension created between radical improvements and process control. The literature review has also produced 4 levels of ambidexterity in organizations: the strategic level, the operations level, the projects level, and the individual level. Each of those levels has a share of the mentioned dimensions. Understanding and working the dimensions at each level is a challenge that promotes the organization to higher status. Mechanisms of achieving ambidexterity are still under investigation. This research proposes harnessing the portfolio management practices for this purpose, and this is the proposed discussion topic for the leader of the future competition. The following research was prepared to pass the requirement.
like the video?
Yes,
Did it explain much about the research? That's pretty much it. I can stop now, or I can carry on further. Okay, so I'm gonna present to you the research map of how they came up with this idea from the beginning and where did I go, and then the conceptual framework and some of the findings of the research, which is the definition, and then the general findings which can be utilized in, either in academy or in practice. No need for you to read all that. I can explain that pretty much in a concise way. First of all, as I explained to you what ambidexterity is, ambidexterity has been defined since long ago in like an abstract definition, which is basically exploration and exploitation, and that's it. So, or you go out to the market and then you hear people talking about sustainability and being smart and so on and so forth. But when you ask how you can do that, then that's the difficult questions. Nobody can answer you straightforward. They're going to tell you, well, you can hire a wise and an old and a very good business development manager, and then you can hire, a good team, or you can outsource the work to some good office or something like that, and then just all talks, and no one has really provided a study to prove all these kind of things. So I figured out that before I start, I needed to understand what ambidexterity is, or how you can achieve that sustainability. I wanted to build a foundation for the research. First of all, to understand completely all the elements of that subject. And then after that, I would be looking at mechanisms of how you can achieve it. So it's step by step. First of all, you build the foundation, you understand everything. Then you look into mechanisms, and then you test those mechanisms on actual organizations and see if it works. And this is what I've done. So first of all, the first research question, as you can see, it says you in the middle somewhere, if this works. Anyway, so in the middle of that first question. Here you go. So it says, or it encourages the researcher, which is me, to study the organizational ambidexterity. So it says, what is organizational ambidexterity and how can it be defined within the context of project-based organizations? And the reason I chose project-based organizations is because everyone uses projects to deliver on their own work. Any organization, they use projects. So this is why I was focusing on project-based organizations here. Then the second question after building the foundation is basically, what are those mechanisms needed in order to see those ambidexterity through? And then after, towards the end, I looked at how I can take the portfolio management practices as provided by the PMI, the Project Management Institute, and how I can use it to apply those mechanisms to achieve organizational ambidexterity. And the reason I've done that, basically, one of the reasons is because sound and good mechanisms, also sound and good practices that have been published by the PMI and everybody uses. We want to see if they work and we can achieve ambidexterity through those. The second of all is because I have a scholarship from the PMI, and so I need somebody just to align my interests with theirs and for them to be able to pay money. By trying to define the first, or to answer the first question, I developed a framework. This framework was developed through the systematic review of the literature. I've reviewed nearly 700 articles about, or talking about ambidexterity. I can't say that I read all of them. I read most of them, yes, not all of them. And I focused on probably 40 or 50, which are the core or the piece of art articles which were talking about ambidexterity mainly. And I came up with this framework. So this framework basically, it explains the abstract or the general definition of ambidexterity, which I mentioned at the beginning. I said it used to be defined as exploration, exploitation, full stop. And when you go outside and ask anybody, how can I grow and make my business sustainable, they would answer you, hire good people or something like that. And that's not enough. So I tried to expand on this by developing this detailed framework. And as you can see, the framework has 5 boxes. It starts with the organizational levels. So it hits each level in the organization. whether it's strategic projects, operations, or individual level. So if you can plant ambidexterity or those capabilities in each level, then you would have a successful organization. You can't just be or provide one simple definition and that's it, it's done. And then within those levels, I found that there are several dimensions in order to achieve this capability of the organization. These are the knowledge, the behavior, the technology, and the process dimension. I can go into more and more details into each one of those, but I know no one will remember that after. So I'll just stick to, you can stick to knowing that there are levels of the organization, and these are simple levels that everyone can remember. And there are dimensions in each level that you need to achieve those dimensions in order to achieve the ambidexterity. And you need to understand that within each dimension and within each level, there is a paradox. And when I say paradox, it means that two things are happening. Each one is trying to pull the other into a different direction. Somebody, for example, wants to, let's say, win work, and another one wants to deliver work. So where is the tension here? Can anybody guess what the tension between winning work and delivering the work? I will answer you this question. For someone who wants to win the work, if somebody is selling, he wants to sell it for the cheapest, for example, in order just to get that work into the organization. For somebody who wants to deliver the work, he wants to deliver it to the maximum fee or value possible in order to be able to utilize all resources, material, or whatever he's going to be using to deliver the work. And that applies for everyone. So see, one party is trying to sell cheap and one party is trying to sell very expensive. And hence a paradox or a tension happens. Why it's not called, it's called a paradox because both of them are aiming towards one goal, but they are aiming to that goal in attentional force, basically, not in unidirectional force. Because if both of them, if both forces were unidirectional, then probably one will win and then you will not achieve sustainability. For example, if you keep on selling things for cheap, then at the end of the day you're going to close out the business and be bankrupt. If you're going to be selling for expensive, then you're going to win anything. Hence, this is why it's called paradox. And this paradox, I gave you just one example. I can give you more and more examples. I just give you something that sticks in your mind. The reason of this, or the reason I'm presenting this, because this paradox happens in each dimension and in each level of the organization. So you have 4 levels and you have 4 dimensions, 4 by 4, and then you have 16 elements that paradox can happen within those elements. You can take a knowledge dimension within a project level, and you will have paradox within this knowledge dimension of the project level, such as, for example, using new knowledge versus using old knowledge or something like that. I mean, there are so many examples. And when you have 16 elements, which is dimensions and levels, and you have paradox, then you have 32 forces trying to play within each other, and then you have many things that you need to think about and many links that you need to resolve within these 32 forces in order to achieve sustainability. Hence the definition or whatever that guy you were asking how you can achieve sustainability, and that simple answer that you receive, then that answer you will understand that it is a wrong answer because he did not really trigger any or define for you any of those forces that are playing within the organization. Now that's the third box. The fourth box is the organizational capability, which is the actual capability of the organization to resolve each and every single one of those 32 forces or elements. We're talking about general practices, we're talking about project capabilities, and we're talking about dynamic capabilities. And then, towards the end, we are proposing mechanisms to resolve the paradox that has been created. And those mechanisms, basically, you're not going to remember them all, the structural design of the organization itself, the learning capability of the organization, the selection and communication. I think I bored you enough here, but just for you to understand that one of the foundations of the research is taking the abstract definition of the ambidexterity and the general definition which everyone on board was trying to play smart and do it into this conceptual framework, which took me about 2.5 years to develop, and it goes into all the details of the organization. So this half a line or one line of definition of ambidexterity came this whole paragraph. So before, ambidexterity was exploration, exploitation, and how you can balance between both. And now the new definition is its ability to employ structural learning selection communication mechanisms to resolve paradoxical challenges within intellectual, behavioral, technological, and processual dimensions. So basically, this very concise definition takes a conceptual framework into consideration and produces everything in just one paragraph. So this is the last slide. So I just want to give you some of the general findings of the research, apart from what I gave you before. Because when I've done, I told you when I finished with providing the foundation based on the systematic review of the literature, and when I finished with providing the mechanisms, I went out to site or to field and I tested if do they really work. Does this framework works or not? Or it's just a bunch of added literature together and just came up with a framework. So when I tested that framework, I found weirdly that it does not work everywhere. It only works in small and medium enterprises. So I tested all the enterprises, and I've done all the regression analysis and everything like that. And I had many organizations within qualitative and quantitative tests. It took me, I think, about 7 or 8 months to provide or to administer these tests. And weirdly enough, only the small to medium enterprises showed influence or showed changes when we applied those things into it. And I started wondering why only small to medium enterprises, why not the large ones, for example. Small medium enterprises, I think the maximum employee count would be 70 or 100, probably slightly more than 100, that's it. When we talk about large organizations, we're talking 300, 500, above even 1,000. I don't think that large organizations, and that was one of the conclusions, I don't think that large organizations would really worry about ambidexterity. They would be worrying about cost cuttings and procedures and ways of how you can discipline all the employees and discipline all the work. They wouldn't worry about the entire sustainability of the ship. Although that doesn't mean it did not really exclude the large organizations from this, but it showed that SMEs, the small to medium enterprises, showed more interest into receiving ambidexterity rather than the large organizations. I tried to take all the organizations which were under the test and see if some specific industry, for example, would score more on ambidexterity, like would IT be more ambidextrous more than engineering, or engineering would be more ambidextrous more than pharmaceutical, for example, or so on and so forth. And the test shows that there's no really any scores for ambidexterity. It depends on the design of the organization and the mechanisms that you're applying to the organization itself. So that doesn't mean you will not find any size that can be ambidextrous, or any discipline or any industry that can be ambidextrous more or less than any other industry size or discipline. It all depends on the mechanisms and discipline of the actual employees that are working in the organization in order to achieve this capability that we're investigating here. And these are the main findings. There are many findings. I only picked up 3 because I know that the human brain just can work up with only 3, even 2. If I give you 5, you look up with nothing. So I only give you 3. So the first one is SMEs. The second one is clustering. You cannot cluster ambidexterity. And the third one is the creation of the theoretical framework and a new research paradigm that can be used over and over again. That is the research for now. Now I'm trying to publish this with the PMI, actually they are now currently publishing this as a book at the PMI with all these findings. I'm trying to approach other journals as well in order to be able to get that definition of ambidexterity and make it a bit more general and public. That's it. If you want more information, I have much more. If you have any questions, I'm ready to answer.